Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sailing with the Jameses. Last week we positioned ourselves for one of Australia's most exciting channel passages, a passage called the Narrows. This winding waterway runs tightly along the inside of Curtis Island, and right in the middle lies a section known as the Cattle Crossing, a place where at low tide 1.6 meters of land rises out of the water, and cattle literally walk across what should be a channel. With mangroves so close you could reach out and touch them, and almost no room for error, timing is everything. This morning, we are committing to the Narrows. So grab a coffee or crack a beer, and let's see if we can squeeze our way through the Narrows. The anchor this morning, but check this out on the decks. Check out all these bugs.
Wow. We are so lucky they weren't all inside the boat last night. Wow.
Yeah, they're live.
Did you get bit?
I don't think so.
No, me neither.
But they're over here too. Alright, there are all these on the deck. About to give them a morning bath. Look at all of them. Look at all of them. They're everywhere. They're on the bow. Today's the day.
Yeah. So we've just told the pick at Deception Creek here, and well, we were deceived. I was warning Cait, I'm like, get the hose out, it's gonna be muddy, it's gonna be everywhere. The anchor chain up clean as a whistle.
The only part that came up dirty was the anchor, and that only had like a little bit of mud on it.
Yeah, so totally stoked with that one.
Yeah. Well, also, last night we got a few clunks on the hull in this one.
Yeah, we did. So when we first anchored, the tide was absolutely ripping. I think Cait told you guys about it and showed you a bit. It was flying past a lot more than I anticipated. And it's at that point that I'm grateful we've got a metal boat, because the worst that'll happen if we do get hit by lugs is that it'll chip a bit of the paint, and it's usually pretty hard. It's got to be a big clunk to chip anti-foul because it's a softer paint.
Yeah, a few logs came flying past.
Yeah, but if we were in a fiberglass boat, I would probably, just because, I don't know, I'm cheap and I don't want to have to repair stuff, I would have gone and found a lot smaller minor creek to go up in, where the flow would have been a lot less and a lot less risk of logs, and probably one on the island side. Generally speaking, the mainland side, you'll get a lot more debris. It's not always right. It's only a general rule, and I don't know the area, so if I'm completely wrong in this instance, please let us know. But generally speaking, if you go to the island side, there's less runoff, less for it to come from. You get less current flow and usually less debris and logs. So that's where I would have gone if we'd had a fiberglass boat.
Yeah.
Or nothing against fiberglass, by the way.
It's just the logs came speeding, like the tide was ripping past, and I think the logs came speeding past at like, I don't know how many knots, like 3 knots, like they were flying past the hull.
And I'm not saying they'd sink a fiberglass boat or anything, but they may scratch the paintwork, and that costs money. And in my opinion, it's not worth it when you can just go and anchor somewhere else. But we didn't have to. We got to enjoy this anchorage, and stoked clean chain.
Yeah.
So let's head on off and go check out the Narrows.
This is starting to be really cool already. We've got mangroves on this side, like just the tops of trees, and on the other side we have, like, the tide is high and there's little mangrove tree tops all the way over here, so like you just see the tops of the little tufts of trees, and right now it's pretty wide and it will keep getting narrower and narrower, so I'm pretty excited. So I like already have mangroves on the inside and we'll just keep getting smaller and smaller. So just up ahead, we're coming up to the most exciting part, and I want to show you guys the chart plotter because literally, oh yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Literally going through the land on that one, and then this one, you can see that the depths say like 0.05, but that one's the most exciting one.
Even if you zoom in, there's nothing there. We're going through the land. So is it an island? Hey.
But yeah, just up ahead it's going to start shallowing and getting tighter and tighter.
So exactly, so the green means it's going to be higher than lowest astronomical tide, and then the colour shadings you can always set on your plotter to however you like. We've done the blue at less than a metre, and then this one here I think, I can't remember, but 2 metres and then deeper from there, because anything more than 2 metres is heaps of water for us. Yeah, and anything less than a metre we need to start looking a lot closer at, which we have for this one. But here it's quite exciting. You can see if we go too far off our path, 3.7 metre drying height here, 2.5 metre drying height, you know, and then obviously the yellow is not good.
That's actual land?
That's actual land, unless you just ignore this one on this one. So yeah, we're pretty excited to go through it and have a bit of fun. Hopefully it's really cool and we can get really close to some stuff.
Yeah.
Bring your port limits up in the Narrows there, bound for the Gladstone Marina, over.
Port safe Narrows to Marina, please monitor channel 13 and remain clear of any commercial shipping.
That's well received, ma'am. Thank you very much. Standing by 1316.
Look how close the mangroves are. Look how close we are. Look at the mangroves.
Mama, I want to leave the toilet in the water. Why would I drown?
Because we're in muddy water. We're just going around bends and corners at the moment, and right now we're passing some sort of boat ramp over on this side, and they've got like an outhouse, there might be like a water tank, there's definitely a car park, and there's definitely a boat ramp, which is really cool. I didn't know that this was even here. And then something's up ahead, which I think is like a camp. It's got a roof, I think a few buildings from what we can tell. This is giving like Hinchinbrook vibes, I think. Personally, I think. When we did Hinchinbrook Island, like 2 years ago, we went through the inside of that island, and it just gives you like Jurassic Park feels, all mangroves and like really tall mountains, and the clouds just sort of stay around the mountains. And just before, when we were coming up the first part, there's all these mountains in the background there, and it was just giving off like the same vibes that Hinchinbrook did. So it's really cool. This is definitely not as crocky as Hinchinbrook. That definitely gave off more of a Jurassic Park, definitely don't go near the water feels. But this is giving off very similar vibes, I think. And very cool. I didn't know that there'd be any sort of like buildings along this side, or car parks or boat ramps or anything. This is really neat. Explains why where all the sports boats are coming from. We've passed a few like tinnies and everything and people going out fishing, so I guess that explains where they came from. We're just coming up to a lot of mangroves here. And there's the channel markers there, those two white things, the two triangles. And yeah, we're gonna go this way, and yeah, you can see all the patches of mangroves there, getting very close to everything, which is super cool. So right now we're going through the cattle crossing, so I'll hop up. So from that boat ramp down there to another one up here, this whole section here is cattle crossing. So when this dries out, like Sam said before, it's 1.6 meters below, like so 1.6 meters of land comes out of water, and the cattle crossing is just here. So this is what they use to bring the cattle across to the island. And there's a sign over there that like where the road is where they bring the cattle, which is pretty cool. Like, it's cool to think we're actually sailing on the land right now, technically, I guess. And there's more stuff up ahead. Like there's some railings and stuff. This is really, really neat. Really close to the mangroves at this point. Very cool. And I wouldn't have expected to see so much infrastructure on this side, like the land side. But also over here, there's a ton of houses. I guess the cattle have to come from somewhere. So it does look like a farm and a whole bunch of buildings and stuff. But it's right on the water, which is so cool. And I have to show you guys this. Literally so close. Look at all that. That is the cattle stuff. There's the gates and the fencing, and this is the channel marker. So all of this, if you can imagine right now, if you can imagine cows crossing all of this. Hey! Awesome. I asked Sam to slow down right at the tightest bit, and then the bow got caught. Sam's just brought it back around. He's awesome at driving. Look at all this. Look at all the mangroves. Look at the ripples. Wow, real close to everything, isn't it? Wow, and there's so much ripple in the water here. Is this the bottleneck?
Yeah, it is.
You enjoying this?
I am. This is fun.
Sam was just saying that at 1,000 RPMs, how fast are we going?
We've slowed down now, but back there at that point we were doing 5.6, 5.7 knots, which is very fast. We steam economically about 1900 RPM on one engine, and on one engine at 1,000. We were, and we only do 6.5 knots, and we're pushing headwind as well, which always slows us down. So I think I mentioned the other day, once we get sort of 10 knots on our bow, that's sort of 16 knots apparent on the vessel. It really starts affecting our speeds, and we do start slowing down.
You could literally stick a pole out and touch the channel marker and touch the mangroves at this point. And then up ahead, it's like even closer. And we've got a red marker, and then you can see the channel markers up ahead as well.
Look at the green one pushing us over towards the mangroves.
Yeah, so it goes red, red, then there's a green one, then another red. So we've got to weave. We're gonna weave through the mangroves up here. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Literally so close to that marker. So close. So yeah, we had to stay on one side for the red channel markers. We're so close to the mangroves. Like that's not that far. That's only a few meters. Then we're gonna have to weave this side and then go back around, like come to this side for the right, for the green, and then go back around for that red that's up there. Look at this. How close is that? Wow. This is so cool. And then on the other side, there's also mangroves. Like, how cool is this?
Oh, there's a turtle right there.
Where? How cool is that?
You see the turtle? There was a turtle in the mangrove.
And now that we're past the green marker, now we've got to go back on the other side of the red. Zigging, zagging.
With the tide.
This is so fun. Oh, and there's more green markers up ahead. Oh, there's a bird on this one. Hello. This is awesome. So you can see like red, red, green, green, green. So we've just like zigzagged, came this way, then back around this side of the red, and then now up ahead we have green, so we're gonna go back to this side of the channel. So we're literally zigzagging through these mangroves at the moment. Bit of excitement.
Yeah, this is way cooler than I thought it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So stoked we did it.
This is the best way to go upwind.
Yeah.
And also, like every now and again, we have like a speedboat just pop out of like a random creek in these mangroves. So just up ahead, they disappeared now, but you can sort of see the white wash. A speedboat just came out of them, and I think like people that live around this area must really like come out and explore this area, go fishing, go crabbing. So that's really cool. It's literally just like every once in a while there's just like a boat that comes out of one of these side channels, because you can see like there's one here, there's like this whole bunch of different side channels everywhere. So the channel's widening up again in front of us. Back behind us is all the weaving bits where we've just weaved in and out of the channel markers and got real close to mangroves. How was that?
That was a heap of fun. Heap of fun. Yeah, as you say, yep. There's another little bit of a shallow bit up here, but you're right, it doesn't look like there's anything too close, and then she's deep from then on. We'll have a look, but it shouldn't be too big a deal. But yeah, I might have been a tad overconfident. So we had the current behind us, the wind up ahead, and I'm doing it on one engine. And I tried to slow down to enjoy it. And as I slowed down, it kept on wanting to flip the boat round. So I was mainly sort of almost full lock, not full lock, almost full lock sliding through. But I did find it a lot of fun.
Heaps of fun. I did ask Sam to slow down at the cattle crossing, and that was my bad. I thought
It's no one's bad. It's just, you know, sometimes the world shows you're not quite as good as you think you are, and that's a good thing when nothing goes wrong and you learn that lesson. So yeah,
But yeah, we'll finish up the Narrows
yeah,
and we're gonna head on down south.
yeah.
We'll see.
Heading south.
See you guys next week.
See you next week.
Thank you so much for watching our trek through the Narrows. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and join us on our adventures every week as we share our journey sailing full-time as a family. A massive and huge shout out to our Patreons. Thank you guys so much. We couldn't do this without you. If you are interested in joining the J Crew and supporting us making videos and content, plus getting some awesome perks like early access to videos, consider becoming either a member on YouTube or joining Patreon. The links are in the description box below, and tiers start at just $2 a month. Thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you all same time next week. Bye everyone.